This time I'm going to show you visual cube calculations. After this section, I will stop presenting all other database and dataset features like sorting, searching, dimension granularity, etc., because these are not relevant for this patent. I want to simply give an example and show the advantage of the visual cube invention. So let's start from the basic two-dimensional tablet for 1 day and 10 employees. Now I add a summary row. Please have a look at the different calculation criteria for different categories. For example, summary row counts the number of shifts, adds the number of hours, and shows average performance. When I change the date to the 2nd of May, the calculated values are immediately updated. I'll change the day to the 3rd of May now. Also, as I expected, the summary row updates values. Now I go back to the 1st of May and I click on the edge of the tablet. I explained this feature in a previous video. It shows calculations for the total number of employees in the database. Well, this time, however, I need the tablet range calculation. Okay, I want to see 1 week of 10 employees' jobs. I need to change size Z to 10 and matrix Z to 7. The summary row shows the number of employees on the time dimension wall. Now I shift data right to see the number of hours. This time, the Z-axis summary row calculates the total number of mentioned hours. I will shift data right one more time. I can see the number of minutes for breaks with the Z-axis summary row average calculation. I move the employees range position to name 6. Every time, the summary row does the calculation job. Okay, I will move the employee's start position to name 9 and I shift X-axis data left. Well, I'll go back to name 1 now. I am quite happy with the summary row calculation and I can simply see the values on the time dimension wall. It would be helpful, however, to see a 3D calculation, something like drilling in time. Okay, I click on names wall and here you go. Now the front wall of the cube shows different values. I will focus on the week range and name 1 shifts. It shows the number of shifts over a week. You can see the same for the next employees. But name 1's hours category shows a total number of working hours. Another category, break, gives the average number of minutes in a break. But for our example, the room category is not calculated because that does not make any sense. Once again, please have a look at the shift category. Shift category's name wall shows the number of shifts over 1 week. The summary row shows cumulated number of shifts for a week of 10 employees. That means I've got two-dimensional calculations with 2 different calculation functions. The time dimension counts the number of shifts and summary row adds the calculated shifts. For the hours category, both 3-dimensional and tablet functions are the same. They just add every case. The break category calculation in both dimensions is based on the average function. It's easy to notice every wall gives me different criteria calculations. Maybe I'll switch to view mode. Well, I'm going to change the week start day from the 1st of May to the 4th of May. Again, I want to get time dimension calculations. And maybe one more time for days starting from the 5th of May. Please note, 3D calculations are done for any time position and any range in the database. And again, I want to emphasize that I can analyze different aspects on the cube. Okay, I have got all the data on my small cube. This time, I want to increase the cube's volume by changing the number of days. I'll change matrix Z to 30 and also size Z to 22. Let's scroll the cube up. Now I change the height of my cube and the number of employees to 1. Also, maybe size Z-axis to 25, just for a better view. I've got the tablet for 1 month for name 1. My name edge shows values for the 5th of May. I change it to 3D mode. and immediately I can see all the 3D calculations shown on the names wall. So again, it is done for every category like shift, hours, break, and etc. Okay, I want to check the other employees as well. I go to, let's say, name 9, and of course this time I receive the data for that employee. I do again 3D drilling. Maybe I change the first day to the 1st of May and set the 3D calculations again. All jobs are done immediately and are shown on name 9's row. Obviously, after switching to standard view, all values on name 9 and 1st of May are the same. I go now to name 12 and set 3D mode. This time, however, I'll add one more employee. All I need is to change matrix Y to 2 and size Y to 2 as well. I think it would be better to increase size Z to 30. Well, my summary row gives me the values for names 12 and 13. Simultaneously, the summary row calculates the time dimension wall as well. I want to see the hours category on that XZ axis wall. I shift X axis right. Okay, and I shift maximum right now. There are no calculations, however, for the work area. Let's see, what about the indirect category now? When I click on names wall to get 3D calculations, I see the total number of indirect hours done by name 12 over 30 days. I want to see all categories. And maybe add one more employee. Again, I set 3D mode. And now I change to only 1 week of data. Size and axis Z should be about 7, and of course matrix Z is 7. I can toggle between standard and 3D mode. Now I want to test what I described, but with a really big cube. I start changing the time window from 7 days to 60. That means I need to change matrix Z to 60, and I believe size Z 40 should be okay. I scroll my cube up and set again the 3D mode. I can see the dates wall data for name 12, of course for 60 days. Now I add employees to the cube. I change matrix Y to 50 and the Y-axis size to 15. First I'll scroll my cube down a little bit. Now it's time to see 3D drilling. Also, please note that the summary row shows big values because of massive data. Now I go to the dates wall and I want to focus on the units category. Next, on the employees wall, my summary row gives me the total number of picked cases over 2 months and 50 employees. In this case, it is for 3,000 data fields.